Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be solving two nice equations. Now the reason I put these two together is because solving both of these two equations requires some creativity. So I find it interesting to share this with you, but before we go on, consider subscribing and ring the bell to not miss my latest videos, and hit the like button if you find this video helpful. So first of all, let's say that this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2, and let's start with solving equation number 1. So the first thing that we might probably be able to do is to expand this out and multiply this out. So we will have 36x squared plus 84 times x plus 49 times 3x squared plus 7 times x plus 4 equals 6. So now we have a product of two quadratics, and we can go ahead and try to multiply these two out. And then we will have a huge expression that is really difficult to deal with. But that's not what I'm going to do. Because as I said before, we need to be a little creative to solve this. And this is everything but creative. So instead of this, I'm going to try to do something to have the same coefficient for all of these x's. For this one, and this one. In order to do that, I want to have 6 as the coefficient of these x's. So this one has 6, but this one has to be multiplied by 2, and this one has to be multiplied by 6. So in order to have that, let's go ahead and multiply both sides of the equation by 12. So if we do that, we will have 6x plus 7 all squared times 3x plus 4 times x plus 1 multiplied by 12 equals 6 multiplied by 12. Now, notice that 12 is 2 times 6, so I can take this 6 and distribute it inside of this, and I can take this 2 and distribute it inside of this parenthesis. So I will have 6x plus 7 all squared times 6x plus 8 times 6x plus 6 equals 72, because 6 times 12 is 72. Now notice that not only all of the coefficient of all of these x's is equal to 6, but once I replace this expression with y, this is going to be y plus 1, and this is going to be y minus 1. And that's really, really interesting, and that'll make our equation much simpler. So we will have y squared times y plus 1 times y minus 1 equals 72. So this is a product of two conjugates. So we will have y squared times y squared minus 1 equals 72. So let's go ahead and distribute this inside of the parentheses, and let's subtract 72 to have everything on the same side. So we will have y to the power 4 minus y squared minus 72 equals 0. Now you might be able to guess what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to replace y squared with u to get a quadratic equation. So y squared minus, actually u squared minus u minus 72 equals 0. Now we can use the quadratic formula to solve this, but I prefer the factor. So we want to find two numbers that add up to -1 and multiply to -72. Those two are -9 and +8. So we can solve for u, and we get u equals 9 or u equals -8. Now remember that u is equal to y squared. Therefore, y squared equals 9 or y squared equals -8. So from the first one, I get y equals positive or -3. And from the second one, I get y equals positive or negative square root of 8 times a, which simplifies to positive or -2 times the square root of 2 times I. So we have solved for y, but we wanted to solve for x. And we know that y is equal to 6x plus 7. Therefore, if I solve for x, I will have x equals y minus 7 divided by 6. So this is a 7. Sorry about that. And we can say that if y equals positive 3, then x is going to be negative 4 over 6, which reduces to negative 2/3. And if y equals negative 3, x is going to be negative 10 over 6, which reduces to negative 5/3. And finally, if y equals positive or negative 2 times the square root of 2 times I, x is going to be negative 7 plus or minus 2 root 2 times I divided by 6. So we have found 4 solutions for our equation, and that means that we are done with the first equation. So let's go ahead and talk about the second one, which is this one. So let me write it down here. So we want to solve the equation number 2, and the equation number 2 is x squared times 1 plus x all squared plus x squared equals 8 times 1 plus x all squared. Now the trick with this one is actually quite simple. Notice that this is equal to x times 1 plus x and then everything squared, right? And this is x squared. So basically we have a sum of 2 perfect squares. So whenever we have a sum of 2 perfect squares, like a squared plus b squared, we can add or subtract 2 times ab to complete the square. So this is equal to a plus or minus b all squared. And that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to add 2 times x plus 1 times x to complete the square on the left-hand side. So the left-hand side is going to be x times 1 plus x, and then everything squared. And the right-hand side is going to be 8 times 1 plus x all squared, plus 2 times x squared times 1 plus x. So notice that we have 1 plus x and this 2 as the common factor. So we can factor the right-hand side as 2 times 1 plus x times the quantity 4 times 1 plus x, and then plus x squared. And the left-hand side can be simplified as x squared plus x, which is x squared plus 2x, all squared. Now we can do something else as well. We can factor an x out of these two. So we'll have x times x plus 2. And then we can distribute the power. So we'll have x squared times x plus 2 all squared. And on the right-hand side, we will have 2 times 1 plus x times x squared plus 4x plus 4. Now, if you are familiar with perfect squares, you can easily say that this is the quantity x plus 2 all squared. So we have x squared times x plus 2 all squared equals 2 times 1 plus x times x plus 2 all squared. So we have this object on both sides of the equation. And based on this, we can say that we have 2 scenarios. One that x plus 2 all squared is equal to 0, and one that x plus 2 all squared is not equal to 0. So once this is equal to 0, we can say that x plus 2 is equal to 0, and therefore x is equal to negative 2. So this is one of the solutions of our equation. And once x plus 2 all squared is not equal to 0, we can divide both sides by this expression, and we will have x squared equals 2 times 1 plus x. So from this, we can get a quadratic equation, x squared minus 2x minus 2 equals 0. And we can easily solve this using the quadratic formula. So x equals 2 plus or minus square root of 4 plus 8 divided by 2. So this is equal to 2 plus or minus square root of 12. And we can say that this is equal to 2 plus or minus 2 times square root of 2. Actually, it's 2 times square root of 3 divided by 2. And then this reduces to 1 plus or minus square root of 3. So we have found these two and this one. So we have 3 solutions for our equation, and this should bring us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please hit the like button if you find this video helpful, and subscribe for more. Hopefully I will see you later. Goodbye for now.